Hello and welcome to Spoonful of Simplicity English. What we're going to learn today is an absolutely lip-smacking cake, and it's full of cherries, vanilla and chocolate. We're going to learn the black forest cake. So let's begin. To start with, we need a bowl and we're going to take 1 cup of curd or yogurt in that, followed with 1 cup of caster or powdered sugar. We're going to mix these together and then we're going to add the remaining liquid ingredients. In goes next odorless oil, half a cup. I've used refined oil here, but you can use any odorless oil for this preparation. Again, make sure this is made into a nice homogeneous mixture, and then we'll go on to adding some milk. This recipe requires around 3/4 cups of milk, which is going to be added in parts. The first part of 1/4 cup is added here. After this, we are going to add the dry ingredients. We need an overall of 2 cups of all-purpose or refined flour for this. Next, we need cocoa powder, which will be 2/3 cups. Baking powder, 3/4 tablespoon. Baking soda, 1 teaspoon, and some salt. I've taken around 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to add half of all of these ingredients first, and then with the help of a whisk, mix them together nicely into the liquid ingredients. At this stage, my friends, after you've dissolved most of the large flour pockets, we'd need another round of milk going into it, which is another 1/4 cups of it. We'll then mix them all together and then add the remaining dry ingredients like we did in the previous step and sift them well through a sieve. Friends, this recipe is going to make me somewhere around 2.5 or 3 kgs worth of cake. So the ingredients had to be mixed in parts so that the homogeneity of the mixture is maintained well. I have added another 1/4 cup of milk here, but if you think that your batter doesn't look so thick, you can avoid that as well. Next, I'm adding chocolate essence, and I've used a generous 1 tablespoon here because I wanted that beautiful aroma to come out of it, but you can suit your liking and adjust the quantity as you desire. For this preparation, I have used a 9-inch baking tray, and I am transferring all the ingredients into it, tapping it a little, and then I'm going to push it in a preheated oven at 160 or 170 degrees centigrade, and this should take somewhere around 60 to 70 minutes to bake. With a skewer test, you can make sure that your cake is baked well. While it bakes, let's prepare the remaining ingredients that go into it. First, I'm going to prepare some cherries. I have used the canned or tinned cherries for this preparation, but you can, if you prefer, you can use fresh cherries as well. I am going to deep pit these, that is, remove the core of these cherries and cut them in halves. And I'm going to do that with quite a few cherries, which I intend to put in between the 2 layers of the cake. The next important ingredient is some chocolate, and I need this chocolate slightly barks of these chocolates, if I can call it like that. So I'm going to use a knife to cut it nicely, but if you think this step is a little difficult for you, you can even use a grater and grate this chocolate into some fine coarse powder, rather not fine, some coarse powder. Next, what we are going to prepare while our cake is cooling down is some whipping cream. I'm using a non-dairy whipping cream, and I have taken 1.5 cups of it, and I've whipped it with vanilla essence. Now our whipping cream is done, our ingredients are ready. Let's work on the sponge now. My cake is ready to be frosted now, and see, it's a beautiful sponge that has come out. The only thing is that I will need to remove the top because it looks a little uneven. So I'm going to cut that out, a thin layer of the top away, and I'm going to cut the remaining cake into two halves. Now these two halves will make for this beautiful cake that we are going to assemble now. I've taken my turntable and an acrylic cake base, and now I'm going to place the first part of the cake on this. Now friends, I am going to moisten this cake with some syrup. So the sugar syrup that I've used here is the sugar syrup that the cherries were tinned into. But if you decide to use the fresh cherries, then you can prepare the sugar syrup that we normally do. Just water and sugar and mix it well, dissolve the sugar well, and you can use it. After frosting the first part of the cake, I am going to load it with some chocolate. And then like I always do, I'm going to be very generous with the cherry halves that I had earlier prepared, and I'm going to fill this entirely. On this goes the other half of my cake, and I'm going to again moisten it with the sugar syrup, and that makes for it. And all I need to do now is frost the remaining cake, the top and the sides of it. If you wish to put any frosting patterns on this, please feel free to do that. I'm going to leave it just as is, and I'm going to load it again with lots and lots and lots of chocolate. So here for this step, my friends, you need to be ready to really get your hands dirty, because that's how you'll be able to put some good amount of chocolate on the top, on the sides. And after all that mess, all I'm going to do is just have small patterns on the top of the cake, and that will do for it. And I'm going to literally have some cherry on top of this cake. So I have placed some more cherries, and that's it, my friends. This cake is ready for you to devour, for you to offer to your friends, to show it off basically. If you do like my recipe, please don't forget to hit the like button, comment on this to let us know how you feel about our recipes, share it with people that you think are going to benefit, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you're always kept aware of any new recipes that we post. Till I see you next time, it's bye bye from me.